everybody. This is Spangle here with the FOB Equestria Podcast, the official podcast of FOB Equestria, home of the military Bronies. This time we have with us Commander Firebrand, King Harold, Miche, and myself. Say hello, everybody.
Hola.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, everyone speak at once. Chaos! I love it. Anyway, so for those of you wondering, this is where we've been, perhaps. Initially, there were some PCS changes. Miche and myself were changing stations, and, you know, that throws a wrench into things when you have two of the primary members of the podcast moving around. As well as after that, we all, well, I shouldn't say we all, some of us were gone at Canterlot Gardens, so that was some good times.
Spangle, could you please tell our audience what PCSing is? Because not a lot of people here are military and they do not know what PCSing is. So could you kindly enlighten them?
So, for those of you who are military, you obviously know what it is. But for those of you who are not, PCS stands for Permanent Change of Station. It is basically when you go from an assignment at one base to an assignment at the other base. And you're going to be at your new base for at least a few years. It depends on the assignment, but it is basically moving. For those of you, I mean, whether or not you're in the military, you're aware that the military moves around a lot, so it's just kind of a whole big, you basically get uprooted and thrown somewhere else, wherever that may be. So, Miche actually came over from Japan, and now he's stateside. Isn't that right?
Yes, I am stationed in Virginia now.
So, yeah, that should be a bit easier on the podcast. I mean, obviously, King here is still in Norway.
Are you sure about that?
Am I sure about that? Did I say it wrong? Am I having a brain fart? Am I derping? Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
No, it's just the fact that you can never know where I am at any given time.
So, yeah, actually, I suppose that's true, but you're supposedly in Norway, Mr. Norwegian man.
Supposedly, yes.
Supposedly. Anyway, so... first things first, I suppose, is I'm going to discuss our TeamSpeak server. Yes, for those of you who follow our site, you should know that we now have a TeamSpeak server. We're actually recording this from that TeamSpeak server since TeamSpeak has, well, just better voice quality and it's a lot more efficient on bandwidth and all that stuff. But for those of you not aware, TeamSpeak is a voice chat program where you can just get on there and talk with friends. It's pretty efficient at what it does. And so it is hosted at the address of ts.fobequestria.com. Again, all those that will be in the description. And yes, for the you guys want to put anything into that about TeamSpeak in general? King, I know you have some experience using it.
Yes, it's great.
It's a great program. Okay, so I'm not just being completely biased and giving one man's opinion. King agrees with me. Now, there is something I do have to mention, which is this server is going to be shared among not only the Bronies of FOB Equestria, but the Colorado Bronies, out in Colorado, obviously. They have been kind enough to allow us to register the site under their name, under their, website host, because the way you get a nonprofit license for a TeamSpeak server is your site has to be... the primary site that is hosting it has to be not for profit, and with the way FOB Equestria is run, obviously that can't apply to us. So this server,
that's because we got some ads running, which you're most likely not seeing because you're all using AdBlock.
I'm not using AdBlock. That's just rude.
Yeah, really.
Oh well, then you're making us money.
Awesome. Every time I visit the site, I make us money. I wonder. Anyway, so this TeamSpeak server, again, I will actually just simply link you guys in the description to the post, because the post we made on our site pretty much gives you all the details, where to go to download it, all the instructions and all that fun stuff. So if you want to join us here on TeamSpeak, simply just click that link in the description and you'll get it all set up. But also, one of the main reasons I wanted to get this up was for our FOB Equestria game nights. Now, does anyone here particularly take charge of that? I was always under the impression that was kind of Saunter who was heading that up, more or less. I mean, we all kind of do, but he's kind of been the one leading the charge.
He's been leading it from our side, but we also got one guy in the community. I think it's GTR.
GTR Blackhawk.
Yeah, he's been pretty dominant when it comes to gaming.
I would be still waiting on my computer to get here.
So, yes.
Yeah, I would be too if I was available most Saturdays, but I am not. Viva la Marine Corps bandsman.
Yes. Mr. Bandsman, you are quite busy, are you not?
Yeah, especially with birthday ball season coming up. It's
yes, the birthday
it's
ball.
going to be busy.
And of course, that time at band camp.
The band camp boot camp? What? I'm pretty sure Josh wasn't having any sort of... I don't know, actually. I don't know much about the Marine Corps band. So, what was your training like, Josh? I would like to actually know.
Okay, if it's not too off topic. Well, I went to boot camp just like any other Marine. I went to MCT just like any other Marine, and I went to my MOS school just like any other Marine. It's just that I can shoot my rifle. I have an expert marksman. I have an expert marksmanship badge. I can carry a 90-pound pack as much as anyone else. It's like I'm a Marine, pure and simple. It's like you tell me to go to get deployed. I'm in a deployable unit. Okay, I can go to get deployed. You want me to kill some terrorists? Okay, I will. But the thing is that my military occupational specialty, my MOS, is playing my trombone. So it's like I swore that I would defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and my main focus is more on the domestic enemies.
Yes. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't know what that whole training was, but I think it's pretty interesting to find out that you pretty much went through everything else that a regular Marine would. So every Marine a rifleman, I suppose. And yeah, but anyway, you're right. We did.
He fights the enemies of good music.
I will protect this country from bad notes.
Yes, the sour notes and the naysayers. But
I really hate that joke.
I know we all know you hate pony puns, but I love them. If for no other reason than the fact that people like you hate them. Does that make me a bit of a troll that I promote those types of jokes just because people like you hate them?
Yes.
Quite.
Tara's rubbing off on me a little. But anyway.
Aren't you allergic to Tara?
That is true.
That has not been proven. But anyway, so we did get a little off topic. So FOB Equestria Game Night, if you want to participate in that, I highly recommend joining our TeamSpeak server for that. Just simply because it is a great way to communicate.
Unless we're not on gaming on PC, we sometimes move our deployment zone to the Xbox, and that has its own voice over IP system, doesn't it?
Right. So FOB Equestria Game Night, we do have, if there is one coming up, there will always be a post to our site. So definitely go check out, keep up with it, and if you want to join us on it, just read the instructions on the post. It will tell you whether or not it's going to be PC or Xbox or, what have you, and we'll definitely get you set up either way. But if you do like the PC game, I highly recommend TeamSpeak. Yeah,
and should also mention that this isn't military Brony exclusive. We welcome all Bronies to have some fun with us.
Oh, definitely. This is not just exclusive to us. If you are a Brony or a friend of a Brony and you want to have a good time with some Bronies, hop on. Hopefully there will be someone on, and if not, just keep checking back. There's people on, especially for FOB Equestria Game Nights. That will be a thing.
We don't bite very hard.
We don't bite.
Harold doesn't.
Although he will hack your computer and make it blow up. No, he won't. Or maybe he will.
It has happened.
So be careful who you make enemies with, I suppose. Anyway, anything else on the TeamSpeak server you guys want to just throw out there?
Negatory.
All right. So with that, we will. I'm sorry.
I just have one point, tracking a bit back to the joke about our ads. In case anyone is wondering if we're somehow trying to
Make a living?
make a living out of this and screw all of you out of your money, which the ad companies are paying us. That's not the case at all. It's simply because servers are expensive.
Yeah, that, and we've in the several months we've been online, we've only made like $20-something.
Yeah.
Costs more than that
Give me
just to run one
$20.
server.
So we're not going to be blowing $20 on ponies anytime soon.
Yes, that's ideally with what we're trying to set up in terms of contests and con coverage and stuff like that. I would like to see us have a bit of revenue generated for site purposes, but certainly none of us are trying to make a living off this. I mean, we all
have jobs.
we all have jobs.
If we were making a living out of this, we all would be a pretty terrible businessmen because we're all already far into the red.
That's true. We've paid a lot out of pocket so far.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, which is why I tried to get a non-profit license for this server. And like I said, the Colorado Bronies were ever so helpful with that. They are pretty awesome at that. And, it allows us to have 512 people on this server, which is awesome because it gives us that capacity should we ever need it. Now, we aren't using it to that capacity at the moment, but you never know.
Yeah, and speaking of ways to cut costs, in case anyone didn't know, I am hosting our FOB forums on my very own server here in my living room.
Yes. And I'm hosting this TeamSpeak server on my computer itself. So we're doing a lot of things independently.
Yep. Not to mention, as soon as I get my TMO, which is basically the military version of moving service, once all my gear gets here, I'm actually going to be, hosting my own server for, us. It's kind of like a Dropbox.
Yeah. So anyway, you were talking about the forums. That is definitely something we wanted to discuss. So why don't you take it from there, King?
Yeah. Our forums basically look like what did APC say? MySpace from the 1999 or something.
Something outdated, yes.
And we tend to agree, and it's been the plan all along that it wouldn't stay the way it does now, because it does look like shit, to be honest.
To put it bluntly, yeah.
So the main focus was to just get it up and running first, and figure stuff out. And in the past few weeks, I've been working on a new layout design for the forums to freshen it a bit up.
And that's been going well, I take it. Haven't you been working with someone else to help get that set up?
Not really, but I have tried and with some success gotten a bit help with the graphical items for the design. But it's at this point pretty much 95% done. The only reason why it isn't out yet is because I've had some other things I had to make when it comes to websites.
So
we'll talk about
busy.
that in a little bit, but hopefully within a few weeks you're all going to be staring at a whole new forum.
Yeah, I know I'm looking forward to that, especially because for me personally, I know I brought this up with you, King. I want the forums to have its own meetup and events section, not just because currently meetups, for those of you who have seen it, is under the category the barracks, and for me, it's not drawing enough visibility to it. It's not drawing enough attention to it, so I would like for it to be in its own category and then divided into regions so it's a bit more organized, a bit more prominent on our forum. So that's going to be something else we're also working on in the forums, as well as just the revamp itself and the image.
Yeah, because meetup and bringing bronies together is the whole reason we have the thing.
Yes, pretty much. That is one of the major purposes. That is one of the primary functions of our forums. And that's why I want to draw more attention to it, especially because I know some of us have discussed it, but for many of us, we didn't know that other military bronies were out there until BronyCon. And for that realization to hit some of us, we're like, there's other people in the military who like what I like, and that's a pony. So that's something we're just trying to do, is raise awareness to other military bronies that, hey, you're not alone. We should hang out.
And thankfully, a certain commander took the usual military initiative and got something going.
Yeah. It's well, it's like that feeling. It's really good, and yeah, I just felt like sharing it. It's like I felt like Pinkie Pie. I felt like Pinkie Pie. It's like this feeling is so great, and I must. It's like this feeling of happiness is so great, and I must share it with everyone else.
So many feels must spread love. But anyway, speaking, you mentioned earlier, King, that you have been working on other sites. You want to talk about that, one of those right now?
Maybe.
So what I am hinting at, and what King will talk about here in a second, is Movember. Do you want to give everyone the spiel on that, King, or do you want me to explain what that is, even though my understanding's somewhat limited?
Well, let's put it to a test and see if you've managed to
grasp it,
figure out what it is.
Okay. So, Movember is basically if I recall correctly, the motto of Movember is changing the face of men's health. It's basically raising awareness about men's health, and I think in particular prostate cancer, by doing this whole mustache growing fundraiser competition thing to basically raise money and raise awareness about the men's health, and basically, as Dusky Cat put it, so
Dusky
we can
Cat
on for years to come. So
Dusky Cat, I like it.
I said it wrong, didn't I? I derped. Sorry.
Dusty Cat.
Dusty Cat. Wow. I just insulted the manliest brony in the world, and now I beg for forgiveness and hope he doesn't come end my life.
No, I've spoken with him. He's a nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure. But anyway, anything I didn't cover, King? Well, I know I haven't talked about the site.
Well, you got the preamble to this Movember event. Do you know anything more?
If I do, I can't think of it.
Like why you were bringing it up?
Well, why we are bringing it up is because the military bronies of FOB Equestria, we're basically working together with Dusty Cat here, and we're kind of doing our own competition. Basically, we're going to see who can grow the manliest mustache, and we do so we have two categories for regular bronies and military bronies, because those of us in the military have regulations on exactly what we can grow. So, and there are prizes as well, and we have our own website to where you can go register and for a chance to win these prizes.
Yeah, and do you have any idea what sort of prizes we're offering here?
I saw what they were, but I don't remember.
Derpy!
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of derpy in the prize.
I noticed that. I do recall
Also, a signed Love and Tolerance poster by Lauren Faust, Tara Strong, and John Delancey.
Yes, we want to talk about the judges now, don't we, King? I'm going to hand this over to you before I make a fool of myself.
I just want to say something about the prizes first.
Okay.
Just to clarify, we have for the first places, you're either going to get the Comic-Con Derpy or the Love and Tolerate poster that's signed by Faust, Strong, and Delancey. You're also going to get a colored pencil drawing by Baron Engel, which is titled Dr. Derpy. This is something he drew on the last Stay Brony My Friends show. Specifically for this event. So this is something he has donated to us, and we're very thankful for this amazing gentleman for doing that.
Yes, obviously, like Firebrand has said, Dusty Cat is a pretty awesome guy in general. So
he is indeed. And for second place in both categories, you're getting a signed copy of Timeless by Michelle Creber, which the Crebers have generously donated to us.
Yes, very generously.
And lastly, the second places are getting a Pinkie Pie's mixed bag of pony merchandise or an exclusive blind bag pony collection, and the latter has been donated by Dusty Cat himself.
Again, just demonstrating his awesome manly broniness and generosity. So
rarity is with him.
Yes, apparently. So, we do have some very interesting people judging this, do we not, King?
Discord!
Yeah, we actually do, and I think Misha would like to tell us.
Yes. We have judging. We have Stephen Magnet, which is voiced by Lee Takar. We have Big Mac, who is voiced by Peter New. We have who is it? Third one, please help me on this one.
Fancy Pants?
Yes, Fancy Pants. Do you remember who he was voiced by?
Yes,
Trevor Duvall.
Yes, Trevor Duvall. Okay. And finally, the Lord of Chaos himself, Discord, voiced by John Delancey. So I don't know, but I'm pretty excited. Happy to have them aboard. It's good that they can lend their time to help out like a charity like this.
Yes. And then also among those judges is Dusty Cat. So those are all 5 of our honorary judges. But then we're going to have some community judges as well, who we have confirmed Black Griffin, but we're still trying to sort out who the rest of the community judges will be. Who knows? Our very own Commander might join in.
He might, if we can rip him away from that band camp of his.
Stop calling it band camp, please. I am filled with rage. That is filling me with rage right now.
Careful, King. He is a Marine. He might do something crazy and unpredictable.
Right.
Are you insinuating something about Marines?
I love Marines, and I think they're awesome. Is that? Please don't kill me.
That's the correct answer, Spangle.
Yes, I hoped it would be the correct answer. But, so, anything else we would like to add to Movember, besides the fact that we do have a website up. It is movember.fobequestria.com. And that link will be in the description.
Just to elaborate why we have 2 sets of judges, we have the honorary judges, which are special guest judges, and they will be picking out the winners of each category based off of 10 finalists, because it would be a bit strange to ask these busy gentlemen to judge over what could be several hundred or maybe even thousands of bronies and their mustaches.
Yes.
So that will be the task of the community judges to pick out the finalists for the honorary judges.
Right. So we don't want to burden John Delancey or Lee Talker with hundreds and potentially
we probably
thousands.
could once, and then they would never speak to us again.
Yeah. So we'd rather not burn bridges. But
yep.
Burn all the bridges.
No, build all the bridges. You have
Then burn them to the ground.
No! Marines, stop trying to burn things.
Excuse me. You cannot argue with 200 years of success.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Apparently, burning things work.
Kill it with fire.
Hey, slash and burn.
Anyway, so speaking of things going on within the community, I'd like to take this time right now to just kind of point out the fact that for those of you who may be aware of the, I would say, fairly popular Everypony network, otherwise abbreviated as EPN, we are going to be working with them in the future.
Not to be confused with EFR.
No, not Everfree Radio. Although we have talked a bit with Saberspark and Final Draft, and we haven't worked anything out with them yet, but we have been in contact. We've just been talking and chatting and getting acquainted with them. But we are working with Everypony network, and we have basically set it up to where we will be doing a weekly live show if everything works out as planned with them. So we will be putting a post on our site later this week with times and everything else saying when you can catch this, but they'll also be broadcasting these podcasts. So you might be listening to this on their show, their radio network.
So hello everybody on Everypony network if you're listening.
So yes.
Hello Everypony.
Hey.
And so now we have multiple ways, and like I said, we will be doing a live show. The name is yet to be determined. We're still kind of trying to figure that one out, but the live show is scheduled to air next Saturday from when this the day this has been uploaded. So it's working out pretty well with them. I like the guys. They've been very awesomely, friendly, as Bronies are famous for.
Awesomely friendly.
Yes. What? You got a comment?
That seems to be the main theme of Bronies.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? I noticed that when speaking to Saberspark and Final Draft from Everfree as well. They were pretty awesome, and they were just really eager to cooperate and work together. And my first experience meeting them was actually at Canterlot Gardens, which we will discuss in a little bit. But yes, so be on the lookout for the I tripped over my own tongue.
Everypony network.
Everypony network, yes. I notice I trip over my own tongue when I start speaking a little too fast for my own good. So I just need to slow it down. Yes.
But that's part of your charm.
Is it not?
Also, if anybody whoever's listening to this podcast has any kind of input or suggestions for things that we could air on Everypony network during the radio show, please feel free to give any kind of input that you would like.
I agree.
What he means is there anything you would like us to talk about?
Yes, that.
Huh. Yes, agreed. We could always use topics to discuss.
And there might be opportunities for you to ask us questions.
Yes.
But who would want to ask you any questions?
Maybe. But considering it will be a live show, chances are pretty good we'll get fielded some questions and comments while we're doing it. So we'll see exactly how the first episode goes. This is new territory for us. We've never done a live show, but we'll see. I'm optimistic. I'm excited. So it's something to be on the lookout for, certainly. Now, with that said and done, one thing I would like to talk about is the Military Bronies React video is back up, finally, after a long and drawn-out copyright war.
So much pain.
Do you have anything to talk about on this?
Yes,
Amanda?
I have a lot to talk about this.
Well, why don't you take the stage, good sir?
Get
All
on
right,
the soapbox.
I wish I actually had a soapbox to stand on. That would be an epic visual pun.
We can have a metaphorical soapbox for you.
Metaphorical soapbox.
Stand on my metaphorical soapbox.
All right. Well, the first thing, I suppose the whole video was conceived when I saw all these people, when we got all these people together, and I'm like, maybe we should have a video that'll set our identity a little bit, show people the military brony community, and how we're valid, I suppose. And so I did a military bronies react. It's like I was gonna do that originally by my own YouTube channel, just acting as my own as the character I play, the Fiery Joker. And I was just gonna act that out. I was just gonna do it by myself. But then this whole FOB Equestria thing happened, and I'm like, we should probably do it together. And so yes, I asked the staff, and we got a couple people. But I'm like, no, we need more people for this. And so I asked Black Griffin if he was on board, and he was very busy. He was very busy. But he event with the whole rarity animations and stuff. So. And he also wanted to finish a couple of his songs before he actually recorded his segments. And so yeah, there was a whole lot of waiting, a whole lot of delays, and then when I finally got it together, I finally started editing. My video's audio codec crashed, and it was not working. There was something about corrupted audio. I'm not sure entirely what it was, but I had to render each segment separately. It was just making the video was just a huge pain. But but pushed through it, finally got it out, and then it was taken down for copyright. I felt horrible.
This was your baby. You had put so much time and effort into this thing, and you were going to, so the chances of you letting this go was...
I would not let this slide. My virtue is justice, and my vice is wrath. This was not going to fly.
So...
And, the companies out there should know better than to start a copyright war with a bunch of warriors.
Yeah. We will not back down. So, but what basically happened was we sent it was like a copyright notice. We sent copyright notices back and forth, and we tried to get it back up, and it was a real pain. It's like the first thing I tried to do was I took down the first video that we set up, and then I took out anything that looked like it was original content. I took out the question time animation because I thought that was what they had an issue with. I'm like, okay, I'll just do that. And then I took it down, removed that part, and the audio codec crashed again. So I had to render each part. Oh my gosh. Again. And so finally got that back up, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like. And it actually stayed up. It's like no one was mad about it. We're like, oh my gosh, this is actually working. And even Dusty Cat himself commented on the video. It's like, and I'm pretty sure he really loved his segment.
Yes, be a man.
Yes, I was thinking about using the Koyadi Scati for that, but I'm like, nah, that's not one that's been done before, and two, it's not oomph enough. I need something manly oomph. Oh, I got it.
There you go.
And so yeah, it's like everything was going great. Taken down again. Yeah. And so I actually got
at this point we had like 2,000 views or something.
Yeah, so it was very irritating. And what happened was it's like I tried to get into email contact with their public relations representative, and she gave me some really, really poor excuses as to why she took the video down. It was
you made us look bad.
You hurt our feelings.
And all her arguments were basically something she probably looked up at how the fair use law works on Wikipedia or something, and just built her arguments for the exceptions there. Which is not how the law works at all.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's like I'm reminded of the whole this whole thing reminds me of the controversy that the Nostalgia Critic had with The Room review. It's because the thing is, the Nostalgia Critic, he followed all the rules. He gave credit to the original video. He put fair use as an excuse, and as well as satire parody clause, and it was a review. He had to use original footage to keep the audience informed and entertained. More importantly, informed, because you can't just say this movie sucks and not show why it sucks, because that's just unprofessional.
Yep. So, I mean, we basically did the same thing. Ours could be considered a review of sorts.
Because yes, we were disputing the validity of their interviewees, and we also criticized. It's like a couple of us criticized how the video was set up.
A little, yes.
It's like we criticized. It's like, you didn't show them, you didn't inform them enough. They're uninformed. Of course they had those opinions. It's because of you they had those opinions.
Good job. But we followed all the rules. I mean, you even went back and looked at the video a second time and took out anything you thought might be violating copyright and then put it back up. And then it basically turned out same situation that Nostalgia Critic had, where they didn't like it because it talked negatively. Same thing happened with, the React people.
Yeah. I think her specific words were that our review was detrimental to her business.
So basically, we just said mean things to them.
And they got all hurt and sad and upset, and they said, "You can't say mean things about us. We are going to hit your video with copyright." And then we're like, legally, you can't do that.
So in the end, basically what we did is we just submitted a counterclaim saying, hey, this is not this is a false DMCA claim, and they never replied back. But their YouTube has a waiting thing where if you submit a counterclaim and they don't respond within 14 days, they put your video back up automatically. And that's basically what we just waited the 2 weeks, and our video ended up coming back up. Yeah, and now it's finally back up after the waiting period.
I was this close to getting a lawyer. I was peeved because this thing was my baby. I worked so hard on this, and they just take it down because it said mean things about them. I was royally ticked off.
Yeah,
Firebrand had words in our Skype chat.
Some very choice words, indeed.
No, I do not curse, but I use multiple euphemisms.
Indeed.
Words.
But there
were words that meant things.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, so that situation has been resolved. Thank goodness. And
yes, so it is back. It is back up and is up for your viewing pleasure. So, and I'm still kind of disappointed because the whole copyright fiasco did rob us. It robbed us of views, which I'm really sad of. So, and we're not going to be able to get those back. So that's a little disappointing. But hey, look at the bright side. At least it's up.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, for those of you who enjoyed our Military Bronies React video, there is going to be another video from us, the staff, coming up in the near future. Obviously, Commander Firebrand over there is going to be pretty much the person doing all the editing, being the hard worker he is. So
I'm a hard worker.
Wait, we work hard here?
No, we just play.
But I thought we had no lives. I thought we had way too much time on our hands.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Way too much time. But I'm not going to spoil anything about it in particular. Just saying, be on the lookout. There is another video in the works.
You work 12-hour shifts, not enough.
Yeah.
You get a lot of more out of the day if you don't sleep between them.
Yeah, that is true.
I find myself sacrificing sleep pretty often, actually.
I don't have to sacrifice sleep. I don't get it in the first place.
I find myself always having to have a 6.5 hours sleep minimum.
Well, that's what I try to do, because it's like if I kill myself during the week, and by that I mean get minimal sleep during the week, and by that I mean 3 hours or less a night, trying to get everything else I want to get done, I find I have no weekend because most of my weekend is spent sleeping. So I found it's not productive. I agree.
I can never sleep past. I can never get past 9 hours of sleep for some reason.
Huh. I do not have that issue. I have passed out for 15, 16 hours at a time. Trying to make up. But like I said, that happens when I go like an entire week where I've gone 5 days and I've only gotten like a total of 15 hours of sleep over 5 days, and I'm dead tired. But we aren't here to talk about that, are we? So
Viva
anyway,
la military.
welcome to the military. Yeah.
Rah.
But
to continue on from inconvenient YouTube limitations, this also the copyright wars also affected something else. Our ability to upload something to our YouTube.
yes, the interviews. With the copyright claims and strikes against us from this, we weren't able to upload our interviews to our main channel. So I said, well, I have a YouTube channel. Not only that, I have a Brony YouTube channel. And it allows for longer than 15-minute uploads. So we've been using my Brony channel as a temporary alternate to upload all the interviews we had from Canterlot Gardens. Now, you've seen some of them posted on our website, and we still have more to come. But when this airs, we will have not had all of them posted up yet, so there still are more on the way. But that's the main reason we haven't uploaded them to our FOB Equestria channel, the place where this has been uploaded, because when we had the interviews completed and taken care of, we basically couldn't upload them to this channel because of the copyright claims and the interviews being longer than 15 minutes and copyright strikes not allowing you to upload videos longer than 15 minutes and that whole fiasco. Now, obviously, that's not an issue anymore. We got those strikes dropped, but at the same time, I've already uploaded them all to my channel. They're all uploaded there. They're just unlisted. So they're coming out as they're published on our site. But we are going to be re-uploading them to this channel now. Not only that, we're going to be uploading, I guess, fixed versions. And by that, I mean, if you've watched them, you've noticed the camera shake. And that's simply due to a defect, a glitch, just a problem in the camera we had. It was on a tripod, and it would randomly just start doing the screen shake thing for no apparent reason. And we're going to see if our expert video editor over there, our commander, can fix it. So, are you optimistic about that, Josh?
I try to remain optimistic about everything.
But anyway, he's going to see if he can do his best to improve the quality of those videos. And once he has gotten a hold of those video files and gone through the process of editing and improving their quality, then we will be uploading those interviews to this channel as well. So if you haven't caught those yet, if you haven't headed over to my channel to watch those, that's fine, because they'll be on this channel very shortly. So you don't, trust me, you do not need to go subscribe to my Brony channel unless you want to subscribe for PMVs, because that's pretty much all I do there in terms of my own efforts. So
yeah, but subscribe to me. I make My Little Pony reviews.
Yes, which we are now featuring on our site because it's relevant. We're like, why aren't we featuring those?
Oh yes, a couple of you have commented saying it's like, why are you so mean to the show, and why are you saying such nasty things about the show if you're a brony? And it's like, well, it's really simple. It's like the Fiery Joker, he's a character I play. It's like that is not how I am in real life. Yes, I still get angry, but I'm a lot more reserved, and I don't nitpick as much as the Fiery Joker does.
All the world's a stage, especially to you.
So
yes.
The Fiery Joker is basically your Stephen Colbert.
Yes, he's my Stephen Colbert. He's my nostalgia critic, because Doug Walker, he's not like I've met Doug Walker. He is nothing like the nostalgia critic.
So, just to clarify, Commander Firebrand is not the Fiery Joker. They are two completely separate personalities. Is what you're saying.
Yes, the Fiery Joker is pretty much who I used to be. He is a brony in denial.
It's your persona, as it were.
Yes, he is a brony in denial. It's like he likes the show, but he does not want to admit he likes it. And he doesn't even know that he likes it. It's a kind of a weird place to be, is because I was in that place. It's like, do I like the show or do I not like the show? No, I don't like the show. It's stupid. It's ponies, but the animation is so great, and but the musical numbers annoy me. But that was such a touching scene. But that was such a
So we actually had a chat going on about this a while back. Apparently, I was really mean, according to some people, but the whole process of your first perceptions of the show in Bronies, and then like when you actually became one, and I put it out there that when I first heard about Bronies in the show, like I was very harsh. I was saying, oh, those people need to give up their man cards. They can't consider themselves men anymore. How can they watch this show for little girls? It's a disgrace to men everywhere. And like, I was really far end of the spectrum. You know, I wasn't hating on them like by going onto like forums or anything like, but at the same time, if anyone ever asked me about it, I was very outspoken against it. And then it kept bleeding its way to my parts of the internet. And by that, I mean like the different sites I would visit for webcomics and memes and all that stuff. It just kept invading the internet where I was. And so I finally caved, and I said, I'll give this show I'll watch the first episode. And then, you know, I had that same view. I had that same kind of internal conflict you had there, Josh. Back and forth between it's so good that it's ponies, and so, but it was a two-parter. Obviously, we all know the season 1, episode 1 was continued on, so I'm like, whatever. Out of first, still curiosity and wanting to see what the big deal was, and then
12 hours later you have
and then 12 hours later, it was kind of like the Reading Rainbow. It's like that was pretty much my entire situation of like I'm like, oh my god, I actually like this show.
Nah, it took me personally, it took me months to come to terms with me being a brony. It's like I watched every single episode from season 1 all the way to season 2, episode 4, like all in one go, and I still didn't consider myself a brony. It's like, and I kept watching every single weekly episode, and I was still not a brony. I was a brony in denial.
Yeah. So, but I came to the realization.
Like, I kept watching. It wasn't until Sisterhood Social when that episode actually hit me in the chest. I'm like, oh shoot.
So you had to actually come to terms with the fact that you were indeed a brony.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that started it. It's like the next thing was the next thing that got me was what was it? It's like I know this is gonna sound stupid as I've bashed this thing repeatedly, but My Little Dashie also helped.
Yeah, your review on that was somewhat harsh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's because when I wrote, it's like the thing is when I read that, I'm like, wow, this is MLP fan fiction.
It's good.
And that's when I was like, okay, I'm a brony. I can't deny it anymore. Yeah. And then what happened immediately after that was, wait a minute, I'm a brony and I spread love and tolerance, but I'm also in the military and I'm gonna have to probably kill people. So what do I do? And then my mind just went into overdrive because it's because I was it's like a paradox was going on in my mind. It's like, how is this possible? What's going on? What do I do?
What do I do? Indeed, and
what eventually happened was the philosophy of the mission statement on FOB Equestria. That's how it eventually settled as.
Nice. That's actually pretty interesting.
And that was how Equestria was made.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
But so the one question I had for you guys was like I had this whole brony bashing period I was in. Did you guys go through that at all?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Not really, no.
So, Michelle, you had a bit of a brony bashing period where you first heard about him and you weren't quite as accepting.
Well, I'll put it bluntly. When I say not accepting, I was definitely a hater. I made fun of every one of my brony friends relentlessly. It was pretty bad until like one day he showed me one of my friends, the first clip I ever saw. He showed me Pinkie Pie in Party of One when she goes insane. And he's like, dude, just watch this. Trust me, Pinkie Pie, she's insane. Just watch it. And I'm watching it. I'm kind of like, you know what? This is actually kind of funny. Like, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Maybe there's a little bit more to it. But then I kind of like relapsed into the back of my head and said, hey, this is My Little Pony. And I kind of pushed myself away with it. But eventually over time, I started seeing more of the show. And one day during, I had 24-hour duty, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch some of this. So I pretty much doing what I wanted to. I cleared my mind and said, I'm going to sit down and watch this. And I started watching it, and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of a big, like a pretty good show. From then on, I never made fun of them. I was actually very accepting of it. But I never really considered myself a brony until somebody convinced me to read My Little Dashie.
So My Little Dashie was your realization that you were a brony.
Yes, I read that, and I legitimately almost started crying.
Almost.
Almost, which is a really big deal for me. But like reading it, I was like, wow, there's so much depth to the characters and the fans. Some of them are so talented that I was like, what? I want more of this. So I started looking into the community, and at the time I was also starting to get into dubstep. So I got immediately pulled. Yeah, I got immediately pulled from my friends, and they're like, "Hey, check this out, Living Toaster, Living Tombstone," and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing!" And from then on, it's just, I got really into it.
Right, and actually, I'm gonna. One thing I would like to comment on what you said is, like, My Little Dashie did not make me cry. Now, to put that in perspective, it did almost, same as you. It made me choke up a little, and it actually made me feel something, which, to be honest, the military and a lot of my life made me kill my emotions off. It made me suppress my emotions. I was not a very emotional person. And that's one thing I am very grateful to this show and this community for, is it got me back in touch with my emotions to where I can actually really experience and feel things again. And it's gotten to the point where if something emotional happens, if something sad happens, I am able to actually cry now. And it's healthy to actually be able to express your emotions. And I was just so far down that path of basically killing my emotions that to come back from that, I am very grateful to, Lauren Faust and everyone who puts this hard work into the show and this community in general. But My Little Dashie was kind of that first glimpse of, wait, I still feel things? So.
I'm going to be honest. It's like how you all said that you all went through your hater periods. It's like, I honestly didn't go through a hater period. It's like, I was more like that one African-American kid from the React video. I was more like, it's a little weird, to be honest, but I ain't going to hate.
Right. So
yeah, and I'm going to say that I had the same reaction as Josh there. So,
okay, for Michelle and I think I know the answer to this one, but after realizing you were a brony, did you go through a period of what I would like to call being in the stable? to where you were so secretive about it, you told no one, not even your fellow brony friends, that you just kept it to yourself, where you basically said, this is my secret, no one else must know.
No. Actually, I went the complete opposite. I went and bought like 10 shirts from Wheel on Fine. I went and I commissioned plushies. I got posters. I got all of that. And I basically said to the world, hey, I'm a freaking brony. I want to be your friend. Which actually kind of brings me to a little funny thing about my shop, is because I was so open to it about my shop. All my staff NCOs knew, everyone above me knew. Even my OIC knew. So everyone I even spoke to knew. And when I PCS'd, when I moved to the station, they gave me a plaque. And on that plaque, I forget exactly what it said, but it said like, we will always appreciate you, but one thing we won't appreciate is that you're always trying to convert everyone to the brony dark side. I think it was something like it is pretty much what it said.
It's
So I
not a
thought that
dark
was really
side.
funny.
It's not a dark side. It's full of sunshine and rainbows. It's the
And
opposite of a dark
cookies.
side.
Do
And
not forget cookies.
We
Welcome
have
to the
cookies.
dark side. We have
and
cookies.
We have
the muffins.
cupcakes. We have cupcakes.
We basically
Not
have all the good pastries.
Yeah, Michelle, that's actually a similar story to mine. It's after I found, after I discovered the show, I actually made a review of the show. It's the first the pilot review of the show, and my superiors caught wind of it using their mystical government powers.
Mystical government powers.
Yeah,
people
and then
like me.
it's like just one day it was a normal morning mustard. This is actually going to be on the BronyCon documentary. It's like this is what they interviewed me for, and what happened is that it was a normal morning muster, and I was all of a sudden ordered to report. It's like Lance Corporal Burner report. I'm like, oh no! It's like this. What's up? What's like what happened? What's going on? It's because it's like you're a Lance Corporal. It's like you're. It's like if your superiors want to talk to you, it's usually about something bad, something bad that you've done. And me being me, it's like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? If I did it, whatever I did, I'm sorry. And then I'm like, Lance Corporal Burner reporting as ordered. Face the platoon. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? It's like, as you all know, Lance Corporal Burner has reviewed My Little Pony. Everyone in this room has seen it. I'm like,
What?
what?
Uh-oh.
It's like, today we commend Lance Corporal Burner's bravery in braving My Little Pony, and we confer upon him this medal. It was a brony shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually got the
I almost died from embarrassment.
Is your commander a brony or something?
No, just an enormous troll.
Just an enormous troll.
I actually got the plaque right here. It says, "We will forever cough miss your pink and purple ponies. Always trying to coerce Marines to the brony dark side."
So, King, what did you? I guess same question for you. Did you have that period of not really sharing it with those around you because you didn't want to admit it to them?
Well, I haven't really been in a position to not tell anybody because nobody's asked or I haven't felt the need to tell anyone. But I did tell my sister this summer because it's kind of hard to for her to not notice that I've been in New York.
So your family, well, part of your family knows, and for me, when I had a roommate, as many of us do when living in dorms and barracks and such, and so with my roommate, I had bashed bronies. We had both bashed bronies, and so when I became a brony, I was like, he must never know, and so I had a good couple months where I had told no one. I was as like secretive about bronydom as you can be. No one had the slightest clue that I had started watching the show or started, reading fanfics or listening to the music or anything. And then it started off, I told one of my friends who was a brony and in the military, I let her know, and then it kind of spiraled out of control from there. And now everyone knows, including family, friends, people in my workshop and all that fun stuff. It's pretty out there.
Yeah, and I don't have any problems telling anyone. It's just that it's that whole process of explaining everything so that they don't view you as some sort of deviant.
Right. And it's the one thing I have found is I think it came into effect with one of our interviews at Canterlot Gardens. If I'm recalling correctly, someone, again, I can't remember who because it's all a bit of a blur, so much happened. But the statement was made, it's a show that is has its, like, it is roughly based on a toy for little girls, but the show is made for all audiences. And that made a lot of sense to me. I don't know about you guys, but that really kind of summarized it really succinctly and well for me. And that's kind of like going to be my default response now. But I do have that same aversion that you do, King. And that for some people, it's like sometimes I just won't bring it up because I don't feel like going through the gauntlet of explaining everything. It's not because I'm ashamed or anything, but at the same time, it's like, do I have the time to explain this? Do I have the next 20 minutes free? No? Okay. How does it typically go when you guys tell someone who might be less than receptive? Is it pretty quick and done with, or does it go out into this long conversation?
I think it just depends on if the person already knows about bronies, because if they're totally oblivious, then you're going to have to tell them everything.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts?
Well, me, everyone who knows me that I will debate endlessly on anything on my mind. So if the person that I'm talking to seems kind of intrigued by it, and we do have time, I'll generally go to whatever lengths necessary to get them to kind of see what it is. If they're not going to accept it, they're not, and I'll stop wasting my time. But I will try to, give somebody a more accurate view of what the show and the fandom actually are.
So you advocate, but you aren't like forcing it. You aren't trying to push people to it when they've already said no.
Yes, especially if they're like somebody who I'm not really too friends with. If it's somebody I know that I've known for a while and I kind of know who they are and how they react, I might just kind of troll them and push them, just kind of make myself laugh. But,
His friends
yeah.
do.
Right. But yeah, for like the average person, I definitely try not to push it on people, because all that's really going to make is just them having more negative view of the show and its fans.
Right. And I think we certainly don't need to portray ourselves any more negatively than people have already done with preconceived notions, which are definitely wrong. I mean, I've heard some pretty nasty and harsh ones out there. We all have, but at the same time, it doesn't help our case.
Just an advice for the two of you who's just started out your Twitter adventure. There's going to be some stuff you're going to see there that you're not going to like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Fun
haters,
times.
and there's a lot of people who want to bring out the haters. So yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, as with me, it's like next to no one I know in real life actually likes the show. It's like I've introduced it to them. It's like some of them have seen a couple of episodes, but no one other than me likes it, and yeah, that's kind of lonely.
I'm sorry.
And I've actually introduced it to I've introduced some of my platoon members to My Little Pony, and right after like the first two, I just gave up because they're just I feel really bad for saying this, but they're just so closed-minded that I'm just not going to be able to get through to them.
No,
I show them the first episode, and then one of them is like, Rainbow Dash is a lesbian. I'm like, oh great,
Oh, God.
not this.
So we're going
But-
that road.
Not this
But,
stupid.
But if you think about it, are they any different than what we were?
Oh no! I didn't do that stuff. It's like I had an open mind. It's like I watched it. I'm like, it's a little weird, but I'm not gonna judge. It's like I'm gonna give the thing a chance. It's like I didn't hate it. It's like, at first I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. But it's like and these people, it's like they're like, no, I'm never gonna watch this because this is stupid. It's ponies. It's like, give it a shot. Don't wing it till you try. It's like, I'm sorry. It's just this is just really irritating to me because it's like, what? Why can't you keep an open mind? Why can't you try something before you start hating on it? Why don't you try understanding something before you hate on it? That's called prejudice. That's called bigotry. That's just unfair.
So close-mindedness is one of your pet peeves then. I'll keep that in mind.
And I'd like to just becoming or starting to like the show is sort of like when you're having your first taste of coffee. The first cup is always going to be bitter, and you're not going to like it. But once you start drinking it and seeing the benefits of it, you're just going to start loving it for every single drop.
I don't drink coffee.
Tea is where it's at.
But anyway.
Yes, sweet tea is where it's at.
Unsweetened.
Oh, God. No debate here. Not on that.
Debate everything.
Well, I've successfully derailed us from the list. That was kind of intense.
Yeah, we've been pretty much going across the country here on this train journey.
When did we miss the turn for Albuquerque? I don't know. But
12 hours ago?
For some reason, we've ended up in Alaska.
Yeah, I don't know. How did this happen? I know exactly how it happened. It was a very intentional derail by myself. And
we're still getting derailed.
But derail.
I'm gonna get this train. I'm gonna get this train back on the tracks here a bit. So we talked a bit about the interviews, but Canterlot Gardens in general. Of all of us here, me and Saunter were the only ones who went from the staff, and then we also had GTR Blackhawk there, who is from our community. He's in the forums. He's on the Skype chat with the other FOB Equestria guys.
Super awesome.
He is pretty awesome. He helped us out a lot. He was a big help, and that is it made me realize just how much. With how small our staff is, we might need to do some temp recruiting in the future for staff coverage of conventions, but we're still trying to decide exactly how we're going to do that. But Canterlot Gardens in general, very busy, very exciting. All the panels are up there. Everfree did great coverage of the panels and all that, but we spent most of our time doing interviews. So I actually ended up missing a lot of panels, sadly. But like I said,
that's a bit of that's a bit ironic because I, who is 5,000 miles away, I managed to catch all the panels.
Right, but because I was there and I was, for lack of a better word, working, most of my time was spent running around talking to, agents and the voice actors themselves and trying to get things set up, and then once we did get them set up, actually conducting the interviews. So it was a busy weekend, but it was still well worth it getting to talk to all the other bronies. I spent both Friday and Saturday night going crazy, dancing like the fool at the music events they had, which were live streamed by Everfree.
We have heard the stories about these back.
Yes, you have all heard stories about it from Saunter. He has been more than generous in his... Well, Saunter and GTR have both shared. But, hey, I have no shame anymore.
Would you like to share your newly dubbed background pony name?
What? What was... I missed that last night. I caught it, but I forgot it.
I believe it was featherweight.
I remember that now, but I don't quite get it. Is it a joke at my awkwardness?
Oh man, I'll tell you later.
You'll tell me later. Oh god. But anyway, Canterlot Gardens. I did get to attend some of the panels. I was at the Andrew WK panel. That was awesome, and so was the interview with him. I went to the Fighting is Magic panel. I'm not normally a fighting game kind of guy, but I'm going to be playing that when it's out, definitely. And, it was my first convention ever of anything. And I loved my time there. I was really tired, but it was really worth it. So you were going to say something, King?
Yeah, no, I missed the punchline.
Missed the punchline on the featherweight thing? Is that what you're talking about?
No, just continue.
Oh, you missed a chance to make a joke. So, King, who did see all the panels, you have any thoughts, anything you want to share?
I
have caught the voice actor panel, actually. The script read, that was hilarious.
Well, for those of us who saw the live stream, we caught most of the panels, but apparently Everfree didn't get the hardline internet connection they asked for, so they streamed everything over 3G. So there was a few issues there.
Yeah, I talked when I was talking with them. We talked to them about their issues, and they shared with us some of their frustrations, and I was definitely aware of that. Sad, but it happens. And really, the one thing, like I said, if you didn't catch the live stream, Everfree has uploaded videos of all the panels and everything. They've uploaded pretty much their entire coverage. So go check it out if you didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, and from what we saw of the live streams and the live stream chat, we did have our own little, let's call it cyber convention.
Yeah, a bit. I managed to see some of the chat going on there, if only because I looked over I was hanging out near some of the Everfree guys, and I looked at the setup they had. They actually had the chat going on their laptops while they were streaming it. So I managed to catch some of the chats here and there. And Bronies, I'll say this, even if they aren't at a convention, they know how to have a good time with other Bronies talking about a convention.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly. But the one thing I do have to say is, if you have the chance, if there is a convention happening near you, or you have the money and the time to go to a convention, I highly recommend it. It's a great time. You'll have a great weekend. You'll get to talk with a lot of, friendly people, and get to see the voice actors, and get to just experience some really cool things.
And you'll be 20% cooler.
And you will be 20% cooler.
And also, if you don't have the money for it, find some, because there's always ways. I spoke to a Brony at BronyCon this summer, and the only reason he was there was because he had donated the blood the entire spring.
Huh. That's an interesting concept. He literally bled to go.
But from what he told me, he basically had the time of his life. So it's worth it.
Yeah, if you so you have two Bronies right here strongly advocating for it. Michelle, you went to BronyCon, right? You were there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so 3 of the 4 of us went to BronyCon, so all of us have experience going to some sort of Brony convention in general. And it's pretty much unanimous among us that it's a great time. So, yeah, find the funds. I highly recommend it. And I guess if no one has anything else to add to Canterlot Gardens, I was really the only one who managed to go.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to talk about Canterlot Gardens since you're the only one who was there, but we can mention that there's going to be a pretty hefty review of it being released very soon, as Saunter gets his head out of his quantum physics.
Quantum physics. Yes, he is, for those of you unaware, he is going to college and doing all that fun stuff. So Saunter is busy with classes and stuff like that, and we're all busy with military jobs and stuff like that. And yes, Saunter is, I'm not going to say retired Marine, because that's not an actual...
Former enlisted.
Former enlisted, there we go. And because Marines never retire. There's no such thing. But anyway...
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Exactly. But there, like King said, there is going to be a hefty review and pretty much a summary post of everything from Canterlot Gardens, including all of our interviews when those all get published. All those links are going to be in there as well, and it's just going to be a catch-all. If you haven't been following our blog until that point, you're going to want to make sure you catch this if you want to know how Canterlot Gardens was. And I guess with nothing else to discuss from Canterlot Gardens, I would like to, well, I know Josh brought this up, the Season 3 air date.
Can we let a Marine announce this? Josh,
Yes.
Would you like to?
All right.
Season 3 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is being aired on November 10th, the very same date that the Marine Corps was founded in Tun Tavern, Philadelphia. The air date of Season 3 is the same date of the Marine Corps' birthday. That just blew my mind when I saw that.
Yeah, part of me has to wonder, like, I want to say that's just coincidence, but perhaps it's fate.
It's also the World's Immunization Day.
Really?
And I'm pretty sure it's going to immunize you from the opposite of love and tolerate.
You're gonna get your dose of medicine on November 10th.
You're going to get your dose of ponies.
Yeah, Season 3, it's like I managed to be able to not be spoiled for a little while, but yeah, it's like one of you actually spoiled a couple things for me.
Yeah, who was it? Spangle? Was it you?
No, I think it was Saunter. I'm blaming Saunter. I'm gonna just. He's not here.
They spoiled the villain's name and spoiled the fact that a certain character is in the episode.
No, it was.
Wait, what certain character? Don't be spouting things like that because I didn't see that.
I'm not saying a word.
I've been laying low in the pony news media, so let's not spoil each other here now.
Well, I'm aware, but it was Saunter. Saunter spoiled it.
It just irritates me. It just irritates me that
I'm sorry.
Like I tried to go so long without spoilers and got so close.
I'm blaming the person who isn't here and can't defend himself. Yay, scapegoat. But
just blame Derpy.
Blame Derpy. Isn't that what? Yes, that's his background pony.
Yep.
Name, isn't it now? Oh gosh. Anyway, so with nothing else left to discuss on the list, at least in terms of the original plans, I know you brought this up at the last minute, King. Take it away.
Right. So on her last show, which was last week, Michelle Creber announced that, well, they didn't announce the Christmas album, but they announced that they have put up a Indiegogo website for this album where you can donate towards it and receive very fine rewards for doing so. I've personally donated, and I will be receiving some tasty handmade Christmas cookies from Michelle herself.
Homemade cookies.
Oh man. Uh-oh.
Welcome to the dark side. We have cookies.
Yeah.
And cupcakes.
There you go.
Muffins.
It only cost me $200.
Wow.
It also includes a 20-minute video chat with Michelle and the Crebers, and signed versions of the CD and all that stuff.
So,
well, if you say it that way, well, Michelle might be conversing with Michelle soon.
So I wasn't originally gonna do this, but I did get a holographic Apple Bloom card signed by Michelle Creber at Canterlot Gardens. King, would you like it?
Are you serious?
Are you threatening me?
I am 100% serious. This is my generous side coming out. Would you like that?
Yeah, I would like that.
All right.
I would like it a lot.
So I'll get your mailing address from you a little later, but in the spirit, you started talking about Christmas albums and generosity and donating, and the fact I kind of felt a bit sorry for you that I got to interview Michelle Creber and you weren't there and you didn't get to talk to her or meet her or do anything.
But I'll probably meet her at some point anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I just kind of, like I said, you got you pulled out my generous side, and so there we go.
You sure have swell.
God damn it, Michelle. Luna, damn it. Anyway, so is there anything else you guys would like to discuss at this point? We've covered quite a bit and derailed quite a bit. I loved getting the train off the tracks every now and again. It's fun.
I could mention one thing, and that it's going to be way too late when this thing airs. But Michelle Creber's show is in about what is it, 4 or 5 hours?
So you're talking about her show with Everfree that she does, right?
Yep. So that's airing in a couple of hours on Everfree.
That's weekly,
Whoa.
every
And
Saturday, right?
it's going to be way too late for you to catch that when you hear this, but I'm saying it anyway.
But it's
Because
Yeah.
I'm obliged by law to do so.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
This is a Creber fact.
Crever facts, indeed. But King, that is a weekly show, is it not?
It usually is.
Usually.
Some weekends she can't do it because, for instance, she's at Canterlot Gardens. But usually every week.
So actually, since you mentioned it, I guess I will just put that info in the description as well. The link dump that usually happens with these podcasts. Just
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, go just check the description. If you want to catch Michelle's weekly show, mostly weekly show, and yes, nothing else you guys want to talk about, bring up concerning sites, Bronydom, or anything else of that sort?
None whatsoever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go visit Movember.fobequestria.com because I spent a lot of effort making that website.
Yes. It made by
His
very
blood and sweat went into making that website.
And I literally had to fix it from a ship in the middle of the sea over a satellite link.
Yeah. How was that whole naval time? Fun?
I'm just gonna say that it involved a lot of beer and some German food.
Beer!
Beer! Yay, beer!
Yay, beer. So, anyway, that just reminded me of a mixed drink that Cyril the Wolf gave me. Anyway, that's for another time. We are not talking about that now. I guess, with nothing else to discuss, that wraps up the FOB Equestria podcast. This has been the 4th installment, and hopefully it will be, again, weekly, now that we aren't doing PCS or Con coverage or anything like that at the moment. So, we will see you again next week, and I guess it's time to say our goodbyes. So we'll start off with Firebrand, then King, then Miche. Say your final goodbyes, says
Stay manly.
King? You there, King?
Okay, Harold.
Say
What?
goodbye.
What?
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
There we go. Say your farewells, Miche.
See ya! Bye.
And this has been Spangle, and we are signing off. And as Commander Firebrand said, stay brony, my friends. Semper Philly.